Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video here we successfully created our Laravel project, right? So now in this video I want to create one of the database because all that will be totally dynamic projects in our backend. All that our data I want to store in our database. So for the reasons I want to create one of the database, here I am using that XAMPP, and here that is our PHP my admin. So if you want to create one of the database, then you have to go to the database, and into the database you can see there is a database name you have to add, and that will be as a general and CI. Okay, so right now I am to create on the new database as a real estate. Okay, I name it as a real estate. Now this type of one of the database I want to create. So now if you click as a create, then our database should be created. Yes, you can see there is a new database is created as a real estate. So now we have to configure it. That means we have to attach this database with our Laravel project. Right now, if you want to do this work, right now, as I told you, for this project I want to use that Visual Studio Code editor, and here I want to take this project so that I have created as a real estate. So now if you want to add it, simply go to that file, and I want to open with the open folder. Okay, I want to open this folder. If you go to the C drive into the local host, that is a htdocs, that is our project folder name as our project 6, and that is our real estate project. So now I select this folder. Now all that our file, everything will be now included in particular that area. Perfect. You can see everything is now successfully loaded in here. So I also want to share some of the things with you. Better I make it as a trusted. Great. Now that is our apps. In fundamental I have already discussed about that things with you. That is in our apps area. All that our controller you will get in particular HTTP, and that is our controller. So all that our controller will create in particular this area as HTTP. All that our models automatically that will be loaded in our models area. That is our user. That is by default one of the model. Right, and then if you go to the database, all that our migration will be created in particular that area. If you want to create some of the seeder data, then that will be our seeder. All that part from here we can actually seed some of the data. I will also discuss about that things with you. And then also that is a public, all that our CSS, JSS, all that our essential images, everything I will save in particular public folder area, and that is our resources view. So that is the main things. All that our view file will be loaded from here, and Laravel using that blade syntax. Now we have to write down as a blade.php. Right now you can see there is a view, there is a welcome page. So now that is actually the welcome page. Now that is the page actually loaded from here. That will be our view page, which things actually that will be display in here. That is our view page, right? And then all that our routes, if you go to that our web route, all that our default route, everything will be loaded in particular that area. Like right now you can see for the home, that is for the our slash means that is our home, and home will be returned our view page, our which page as a welcome page. So that is the resources, and that is our view, and that is our welcome page. Okay, that is the basic, all that is texture. Literally a lot of things I will actually add in particular that area. And right now if you go to that our .env, here now we have to configure it. Like right now you can see there is a DB connection, and then there is a host. By default that I have some of the port, and Laravel using by default database name as a Laravel, and username as a root, and password I don't have any password. So right now I have already created one of the database, our database name as a real estate. Better I copy it, and now I want to add it in here. Okay, now that will be our database name as a real estate. Great, and username as a root, and password it because of all. Right now I want to save it. I click as a save all, and now if you go, you will get all that information in your home. If you go to that user account, and with the user account you can see there is a username by default as a root, and the password I don't have any password. So if you have any password, simply add that password in particular that area. Right now it's totally fine. I want to open our real estate that I have created. That is our database, right? Great. So right now I have successfully configured it. So friend, that's all you have to do, and all that mailing setup you can actually add it in particular that area, which I will also cover it later. Right now it's totally fine. We successfully created one of the database, and then we successfully configured it in our Laravel project. Okay, so friend, that's all we have to do. So in our next video, I want to discuss about our default authentication system. Here Laravel actually provided some of the default authentication system as a JDStream or the Breeze. So for this project, I want to use Breeze as a default authentication system. So how to install that Breeze package in our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.